Hey guys, today I want to talk about the upcoming nerfs, buffs, thanks God buffs, for Retribution Paladin in Rough Classic. Um, I'm, I think the Paladin players, they can be very happy about it. We talk about how hard it will push their damage, what we can expect from it. So yeah, let's stay tuned. Just 20 seconds, quick and advertising about my new partner, and then we continue to talk about Retribution Paladin. Juju Energy is definitely at the moment a gaming drink of my choice. It helps me stay focused with a lot of energy, good reactions, and it's even good for the eye health. The natural caffeine and the sugar-free makes it even better. A lot of different flavors. Blue raspberry is definitely at the moment my favorite, but you can choose whatever you want. And with the discount code mulltiy10, you can get additional 10% discount on your order. Enjoy it, guys. Alright, guys, we are back. Yeah, like I said, Retribution Paladin is getting buffed. Thanks God. I think that's a very good decision from Blizzard. Why I think it's a good decision to buff Retribution Paladin, and why I'm not talking about other classes that I think, or other specs that I think they should get buffed or whatever. Other examples would be Sub Rogue, Arms Warrior, Frost Mage. Hunter, for example, also has a spec or some specs that should get maybe buffed. I think let us look super quickly to the rankings. As you can see it here, okay, Hunter's doing already okay. I did not expect Beastmaster to be here. I think that we have a very low sample size here. Okay, 2000. Yeah, Frost as well, Sub like here, as you can see, but they are doing pretty bad. Rogue has 2 specs that are working very well. Hunter has minimum 1 spec that works very well, as you can see here with Survival. Mage has even 2 specs that are working well. One of them is the second best at that moment. Paladin has nothing. You play Retribution Paladin, or you tank, or you heal, or you don't raid at all. So I think it's a very good decision from Blizzard here. As I also think it was a very good decision to nerf Unholy DK, even if you can already see here the next gap that is happening between the first and the second one. As long as the gap is not getting bigger and bigger, I think that's okay. If we would see the gap is here getting bigger, we should talk about it again. Because I think what makes Wrath Classic so good is also the balance between the classes. Yeah, if you play a Fury Warrior, then you may be a little bit mad about the balancing. You think you could do more, other could do less. But overall, it's pretty well rounded, the game. Let us look quick over the Retribution Paladin buffs. Blizzard says upcoming in the next few weeks. I don't know what few weeks means. I guess between 1 and 3 weeks, I would say we will see that. And they talk here about a new major glyph for Paladins has been added to the game, Glyph of Reckoning. Your Hand of Reckoning spell no longer taunts the target and can deal damage to untauntable targets. This glyph can be learned from Inscription Trainer in Dalaran. The Holy Vengeance and Blood Corruption dots effects from Seal of Vengeance and Seal of Corruption may now be applied by Divine Storm and Crusader Strike in addition to normal melee hits. As they say, this intent of these changes is to provide a small boost to Retribution Paladin damage by your Hand of Reckoning, as well as helping with the ramp time needed to apply the Vengeance Corruption dot. The ramp time needed for this could be frustrating, particularly on fights with regular downtime for a lot of targets. Okay. Goals, and I think that's very important. Give Retribution Paladins a slight bump to bring them roughly on par with Fury Warriors right now. As you can see here, we have, if you want to talk about an S plus tier, that would be Affliction Warlock. If you want to talk about an S tier, I think I would put the S tier till Assassination or maybe till Frost Decay, and then we have a very big A tier that is going till Arcane Mage. After this we have a B tier, a small one, because Beastmaster Hunter you cannot really count, with Feral Druid, Fury Warrior, and yeah, Marksman Hunter we have more, right? Yeah, we have a normal amount of parses. what means a normal amount, but a decent amount. And then we have the tier that I was talking about, where only Paladin is the one that has no other choice. Frost Mage can go Fire and Arcane. Arms Warrior could go Fury Warrior. I know, not so much better, but definitely a good step better. And Sub-Pro can play Combat or Assassination. So they want to bring Retribution Paladin tied with Fury Warrior. I think it's a very good idea, because it would make now not sense that one of the least strong specs gets now one of the strongest, so that they push it too hard. But I also think every class that has a DPS spec, and every class has a DPS spec, should have a playable DPS spec. As you can also see, Druid here, Druid has not a great spec, but Balanced Druid is definitely completely fine, also with the what they bring to the raid, also Shadow Priest, and so on and so on. So everybody has something. Next one, goal minimal to zero PvP impact with this change. I think that's also important, because you know, Retribution Paladin was already kind of strong in PvP, and I think it's important that they are not getting here just a buff out of nowhere, because it is just not necessary. Another goal, smooth out the poor gameplay of having to build stacks. Okay, yeah, that's understanding. Target swapping feels bad. I can definitely understand it as a rogue player. Rogue has other benefits, so it's okay as a rogue that you lose your combo points, even if I really dislike it, but okay. Don't make massive mechanical changes to how Retribution Paladin plays. Also very important, it should feel like always, so I think the changes are smart. Not a goal, make Retribution Paladin competitive with the highest output specs and classes in PvE. Completely understandable. They are now the bottom of the DPS charts. Why they should bring it up to the top of the DPS charts, that would be a big mistake from Blizzard. I think already people talked about, is it a mistake to shut down, they are still awesome, Unholy DK, and there the opinions divided. I think the nerf was pretty smart. Other people say no, this is something that they should not touch. I can understand both opinions, to be honest, but I really think that was a good nerf, and in that case I think it is a good buff. Not a goal, embark on an effort to provide ongoing balance to all classes face over face. Yeah, also understandable. If there would be ever in the future again a classic, a rough classic plus or whatever you want to call it, I think they would make these changes directly before it starts. Why? Because class balance is important. What is important is that not all classes, all specs are all the time completely together. Yeah, that needs a variation. One time this spec better, one time this spec better, this class stronger, this class stronger, this class you need 3 or 4 times in a raid, this only 1 time, because it also has a good tank spec and a good heal spec. For example, Rogue. You have Rogue only for damage and maybe 1 combat for this buff that they provide. Okay, cool. A Paladin, yeah, maybe more than 1 Retribution Paladin makes no sense, understandable, but you also should usually have 1 or 2 tank Paladins, and you also have usually 1, 2, or maybe even 3 Holy Paladins. Just think about it. So Paladin is not underrepresented, just Retribution Paladin is doing bad. So understandable here. Not a goal, bring all of the classes with poor PvE output similar. Perfect, and they explain Frost, Sub, Arms Rogue, because Beastmaster, because they have other specs in the same class that are already doing well. People can swap over to it, and their gameplay is also not so different. No, not an Arms Warrior cannot say I don't want to play Fury because it's a completely different class or spec. No, it's still a melee, and so on. Alright, if we look here over the rankings super quick again, then I really think it will be a good thing. The only specs that will be then still unplayable. Unplayable always is a little bit questionable, but will be still unplayable is the classes, the specs that in my opinion are made for PvP. Frost Mage, Arms Warrior, and Sub-Pro. Gladiator Warrior, I don't talk about it, it makes no sense at all. So yeah, the field will be even more together, and I think finally we can talk about 3 tiers then maybe, and the 3 tiers will be an S tier with a pretty clear top 1 DPS at the moment, Affliction Warlock. Where you want to say that the S tier stops is depending on your choice how big you want to make it. I think you should minimum go till Assassination Rogue, maybe even till Frost Decay or Survival Hunter, okay. Then you have a very big A tier that is definitely going till Arcane Mage, A tier, and then you have a B tier that includes now as well Retribution Paladin. So overall, all classes specs that are made for PvE are playable. Definitely you should have not 4 or 5 Retribution Paladins in your raid, but especially with the possibility that a Retribution Paladin can swap in some certain fights for tanking, makes them now a really valuable choice for many raid guilds, especially if they have a very good Paladin player that was just bad at doing DPS because their class is so bad. So now the choice is definitely better, because I can tell you that a Fury Warrior is definitely doing a decent job, especially on some fights. So if you bringing a Fury Warrior that can maybe also tank on some fights makes a lot of sense, and he can also sunder armor. And a Retribution Paladin brings a Paladin buff and can also tank on some fights, so definitely a good choice. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the upcoming Paladin changes. I like it. So good luck for all the Paladin players especially. See you. Bye bye.